students, we discussed in our last class, we discussed about what are the different types of tokens associated in a Python program. Then we study about what are the bare bones of a Python program. Then last class we studied about what you meant by variables and what all are the types of variables, as well as how can we assign values to a variable. Then we studied about dynamic typing also. These are the things we discussed up to this chapter. Today we are going to study about the input and the output function. So how can we fetch an input from the user in Python program, and how can we display a program output to the user. Now let us see in detail about the input function. So in order to fetch any input from the user, Python have a built-in function called the input function. So input, open brace, closing brace. So this is the built-in function used by the Python program to get any input from the user. Then what is the syntax of this input function? Variable is equal to input prompt to be displayed. Which means what? The syntax will be clear with the help of the example. Name is equal to input of what is your name. So the value that is fetched from the user, we need to store to some variable. That is denoted by variable. So here the value fetched from the user will be stored to the variable name. Then after that is equal to, then after that the input, that is our function. Then inside bracket we can write what is the thing to be displayed to the user. So here I am writing what is your name. Then at this statement what will happen is in the screen what is your name will be displayed, and what value is given by the user will be stored to the variable name. So suppose at this stage I am entering the value, my name, that is Ansia. Then what will happen is the value Ansia will store to the variable name. Then another peculiarity of the input function is it always returns a string value. Then whatever input is given by the user, even though if it is a number or character, Python will see it as a string. String means what? String means group of characters. Now look at this example. Age is equal to input of what is your age. So here using the input function, we are trying to get the age value from the user. Then what will display on the output screen? What is your age will display on the output screen. Suppose I am entering the value 16. Then what will happen? The value 16 will be stored to the variable age. And I told you the input function always returns which value? It always returns a string value. Even though 16 is a number, Python will see it as a string value. Now I am going to perform this operation, which is I am trying to increment the value of age by 1. That is age is equal to age plus 1. Whenever I try to change the value of age from 16 to 17 using this statement, that is age is equal to age plus 1, it will give an error message because this value 16 will seen by Python as a string, and it is not possible to perform the addition of a string value to a number value. So the value 16 here seen as a string value, and it is not possible to add a string value and an integer value. Then how is it possible to read the value exactly as numbers? So in order to read the numbers, the rule is first of all using the input function, get the value from the user. Then after that we can use the int or float function to change the string value to the integer value. So the things to remember is whenever we get an input from the user using the input function, Python will see it as a string, and it is not possible to perform the addition or any other operation using an integer value and a string value. So in order to overcome that, after the input function, so after getting the value from the user using input function, we can use two functions called int or float function. So what is the aim of these two functions? Which value is fetched from the user? If it is an integer or floating value, we can change it directly to integer or floating value using int or float. Otherwise, Python will see it as a string. Now we can say how is it possible. Now we can see how can we convert the string value that we fetch from the input function to int and a float value. So what is our last example? Age is equal to input of what is your age. Instead of this statement, we can write like this. Age is equal to int input of what is your age. So first we get the value from the user using the input function, and after that we are converting it into integer value using the int function. So if we fetch the value from the user using this statement, then we write a statement like this. Age is equal to age plus 1. No error will rise. Why? Because the string value of age is converted to integer value by the int function. Then we can write like this. Age is equal to age plus 1. So if at this stage we are trying to get the data type of age, what will be the output? The output will be string. Why? Because anything fetched from the user using the input function is always a string. So if I get the value from the user using this statement, then I am trying to find out the data type of age. In order to find out the data type of any of the variable, which function is used? The type function is used. So type of age means we are trying to find out the data type of the variable age. Then what will be our output? Our output will be int or integer. Why? Because we convert the string data type to integer data type using the int function. Now look at one more example. Marks is equal to float of input of enter your marks. Float means what? This is another built-in function which is used to convert the data type string fetched from the user to the float data type. Now I am entering the mark as 73.5. Now look at this statement. Type of marks. What will be our output? Our output will be float. Suppose if I am not using this statement here, that is float, input enter your marks, and one is entering the value 73.5, then one tries to find out the data type of marks. What will be our output? Our output will be string. This is the difference between directly calling the input function and converting it to int and float. So in order to read numbers from the user, we have to use two built-in function. What is it? First one is the int function, otherwise we can use the float function. Then only it is possible to perform operations with that variables. Otherwise error message will occur. Why? Because Python will see it as a string instead of integer and a floating point value, even though the user is entering integer or floating point value. Look at some questions. The first one is age is equal to int input enter age. This is the statement. And a user entering the value, first one is 17.5 and another user entering the value that is in character form 17. Will it work or not? So what is our first question? Age is equal to int input of enter age and a user is entering 17.5. So 17.5, we know that it is a floating point value. It is not an integer value. So the int function can hold only integer value. So 17.5 is a floating point value. So we can say that an error message will be displayed. So not compatible type, that is the error, which means what? This floating point value is a not compatible type with the integer value. That is why an error message is displayed. So in second case, another user is entering the value like this, 17. In that case also, an error message will be displayed. Not compatible type, that is our error message. So a third user is entering the value 20. Will it work or not? This will be work. Why? Because this is an integer value. So these things also remember while entering the value to the system. Second question is marks is equal to float input enter marks. Then a user enter a value like this, 73.5.0. So in case of floating point value, only one decimal point is correct. Here 2 decimal points are there. So this will display an error message. A second user enter like this, 73%. In that case also, this is not a floating point value. Error message will be displayed. Third one is 73. Even though 73 is an integer, all integer can be converted by the system directly to float. So this will work because it can seen by the system as, or it will take by the system as 73.0. If we use the int function, we can't use floating point values there. But if we use the float function, we can use integer values. Next is 0.73. So that is also correct. Even though we are not using 0.73, 0.73 is also correct. And the last one is 73 point. That is also possible. So whenever we are using the float function, this decimal point must be there. Otherwise, it must be an integer. So these are the things to remember while converting the string value to integer or floating point value using which built-in functions? Int and float built-in functions. So what is the purpose of the int and float function? It is used to convert the input from the user, which is fetched using the input function, to integer value and floating point value. And while entering the value, the things to remember is, if we are using the int function, the input given by the user must be an integer. And if we are using the float function, it must be a floating point value or it must be an integer. That is, integer value can also given to the system if we are using float function. But if we are using int function, we can't use floating point values. In order to get any value from the user, we are using which function? The input function. Similarly, there is another function in Python called the output function. The output function is the print function. So in order to display anything to the user by the system, we can use the output function called the print function. Then what is its syntax? Print expression or variable. Now look at some examples. Print one total. So what all things we given inside the print statement will be displayed to the user directly. So what will be the output of this statement? 112 will be the output. Next is print hello India. So anything which is written inside single quotes or double quotes will seen by Python as a string. So this quotes will not be displayed. This quote denote what? It is a string. So what will be the output of this statement? Hello India. Next is computer science. So the computer is given inside one quote and science is given inside another quote, and these two words are separated by a comma. Even though these are separated by a comma, the output will be like this: computer science. This means what? A space will be occur between the words computer and science. And another form is print computer science sep is equal to ampersand. So sep means Sep means separation. Between these words, which symbol we need can be given inside quotes. That is called the sep. So what will happen? What will be the output of this statement? Computer and science. So the first word, after that we can use a comma and write the second word. After that we can use a comma. Then sep, which means separation. What is the symbol we need to separate between these two words? Which symbol is specified? The symbol specified is ampersand. So our output will be like this: computer and science. So this sep is equal to must be written like this, and what symbol we want must be given inside single or double quote. Suppose instead of ampersand I am using the symbol at, then what will be our output? Computer at science. Suppose here we have three words: computer, science, plus 1, sep is equal to at. Then what will be our output? Computer at science at plus 1. Between each of the words, the separation symbol will be added. And last print statement is like this: print computer, science, ent is equal to, and there we specified a full stop. Then what will be our output? Computer, science, full stop. So this end is used to specify what symbol we need at the end of the print statement. So here I want a full stop symbol that we can specify using end. Now look at these two questions. The first one is AB is equal to 20, 30. So we can say that it is a multiple assignment statement. Then the value 20 will be assigned to A and the value 30 will be assigned to B. Next is a print statement. So print A is equal to, so inside the print statement, whatever we given inside single or double quotes will display on the screen as it is. So A is equal to will display on the screen as it is. Then a comma and after that A. This means we are trying to print the value of A. So the system will find out what is the value of A. What is the value of A here? 20. So A is equal to 20 will be displayed to the user. Then after that ent is equal to, we are using a space here. So a space will occur. Next is print B is equal to. So B is equal to is given inside double quotes. That will display on the screen as it is. Then B. Here we are fetching the value of B. Then what is the value of B here? 30. Then what is the final output of this program? A is equal to 20. B is equal to 30. So the things to remember is whatever we given inside single or double quotes will display on the screen as it is. And if the variables A and B are like this inside the print statement, which means we are fetching that value. Then what is the value of A here? 20 and B 30. So end is what? End means at the end of the print statement whether we need any symbol or any other thing. Here I want a space. So space comes. Now look at this second question. AB is equal to 20, 30. A is equal to A. Ent is equal to backslash n. So this is important. So wherever we use ent is equal to backslash n, this backslash n denote new line. Backslash n denote what? New line. So after that statement, whatever are displaying on the screen will be on the new line. So what will be our output of this question? A is equal to, will display on the screen as it is. Then fetching the value of A, that is 20. Then ent is equal to backslash n. Then backslash n means the cursor will point to the new line. Then after that we are using another print statement. Then what will happen? B is equal to will display on the screen as it is B. B means fetching the value of B. So what is the value of B? 30. So the output will be like this. A is equal to 20, B is equal to 30. So here we are using ent is equal to a space only. Then only a space will come between the answer. If you are not using this statement also, the output will be like this. A is equal to 20, B equal 30. Together to the first statement, the second statement output will be displayed on the screen. If you want any space, we can use like this, nt is equal to inside quotes we can give space. If you want to display the output of the next line on the new line, we can use like this, nt is equal to backslash n, and backslash n will given inside single quote. So backslash n means what? New line. This is backslash, not forward slash. Backslash n denotes new line, not forward slash n, it is backslash n. Then what all things we studied today? We studied about the input and output function. What is our input function? Input. And what is our output function? Print. Input function means it will taken the value as a string. While reading numbers, we can convert it into integer or floating point value using int and float functions. Next is output function is print. There also we remember two things. We can use comma inside the print statement, as well as anything we written inside single quotes or double quotes will display on the screen as it is. And two more things is sep and end. End means what is the symbol we need at the end of the statement. Sep means if you are using three or more words, what is the separation symbol we want between the words, that is denoted by sep. So sep is equal to inside quotes we are giving a simple ampersand, then between the words the ampersand symbol will display on our output. And another thing to remember is backslash n, which we can given inside end, and backslash n means new line. So here we finish our 6th chapter. That's all for today. Thank you.